Now I'm going to give the playing golfers 3 quick fixes. Now, this goes to the core of my training philosophy. I don't believe in piling stuff onto the swing that you already got. I believe in simplifying your swing. And to simplify your swing, we're going to start pulling stuff away. All those power leaks that you read about in the first chapter, those are the things that are in most people's golf swings. So when we start pulling those things away, you start getting closer to your default swing. So the default swing is not a whole other swing you have to learn mechanical moves to make. It's something that's already in there and you're just getting in the way of it because you got all these power leaks. So by you getting these 3 simple quick fixes in your swing today, you're going to eliminate a half a dozen of those power leaks. And the first one is too tight of a grip. That grip really kills a lot of stuff. Increasing your grip pressure on the way back and on the way down. Not being able to feel where the club head is on the way back and on the way down. This is going to help straighten out your muscle firing sequence. You can eliminate casting and coming over the top. So let's get to these. These should be very simple to incorporate in your swing today, and it's going to make you hit the ball farther and straighter immediately. Okay, so the 3 quick fixes we're going to talk about now are your grip pressure, your takeaway speed, and your downswing speed. Now all 3 of these quick fixes will immediately affect your accuracy and distance. If you can incorporate these into your swing today, you're going to hit the ball straighter and you're going to hit it longer. Let's talk about the grip pressure first. Most people don't have a clue what the grip pressure is at address. You don't know if it increases as you take the club back. You don't know what the grip pressure is on the downswing. So I'm going to zoom in this area between the grip and the club face. I'm going to put something on the club face to help demonstrate to you the effects of your grip pressure changing during the takeaway and downswing. Now I have taped a straw to the face of the driver. I've got a piece of tubing on the floor. This represents your target line. At address, your club face should have a 90-degree angle between the face and the target line. Most of you, 80% of you golfers, do not get the club to come back at that same angle. Instead, your club face is open like this. Why? Because you're gripping the club too tight. And what do you do to compensate for that? Some of you actually hood the club. In other words, you turn the toe in, thinking that because you have a problem with getting the club face closed, that's going to help you get it closed, and eventually your club face will come back here like this. That's a compensating move, and compensating moves compensate for your accuracy and your distance. They compromise your accuracy and your distance. Now, watch what happens to the club face when I just grip the club tighter. I'm not going to rotate my wrist. I'm just going to change my grip from a soft grip to a tight one, and watch how the club face opens when I do that. When I squeeze on the club, it opens the face. When I take the club back, I can't get the face of the club to come back here unless I do some other stuff, whether it's hooding the club or using extra muscles to turn the club in. That takes too much energy. There's a much easier fix for that. All right, so I've zoomed in here so you can see how to fix this tight grip. Some of you are so tight that you're white knuckling here. That's really an indication you're gripping the club too tight. So how do you fix it? Get in your stance, get your grip, get your normal grip, even start the takeaway and see if your grip gets tighter. I need you to start feeling this. This is not a swing thought you're going to have. You fix this by feeling it. So here's what you're going to do. Get your grip. I want you to take your thumbs, I want you to leave your thumbs on the grip, and I want to take your fingers, the other fingers, and stick them straight out like this. Now gradually come back to the grip so that you can feel the last joint of your fingers just barely touching the grip. You don't want to hook your grip like this. So this is too loose, this is too tight, this is right in the middle. This is the Goldilocks grip. So this is what you're looking for, but you do not want to think about this. You need to feel this. Okay, so the second quick fix is about your takeaway speed. If your takeaway is too fast, you're going to grip the club tighter and you're going to lose some range of motion. What is range of motion? That's the ability to get the club back here, pointing at your target line. If you jerk the club back like this, your grip goes from whatever you started out to immediately getting tighter so you can move the club back fast. So you start with one grip pressure here, it gets tighter, you pull to here. When it's time to change directions, it grips tighter so you can get the club back to here. So the fix is slow the takeaway down. Remember, you're going to start with feeling your grip soft. If you're accustomed to gripping the club tighter when you take the club back, take it back slower. You need to pay attention to what your brain is doing. It's got its own programs running, regardless of what you want to do. So you need to slow this takeaway down so that you do not re-grip the club when you take it back. A slow takeaway is going to give you more range of motion. If your club's only going to here, you're using a lot of power. If it's going to here, you're still losing power. If you can't get the club back to here, you're just not hitting the club as far as you can with the amount of power that you currently have. So this is a way to get more distance without increasing your strength, without increasing your club head speed that's tense. So soft grip, slow takeaway. You need to practice this and make sure your brain is not re-gripping the club. If it does, slow it down even more. Start feeling this. You do not want to think about this. You want to feel this. So when you're on the driving range, you want to take some practice swings, feel that club going back slower. Where you start back here is not as important as not gripping the club. So slowing that takeaway down is going to give you more range of motion. If your front arm only goes parallel to the ground, you want to have soft enough grip so you can pull the club back here. Your third quick fix is slowing down your downswing. Your downswing is from here to here. If you start your swing off with a tight grip and a fast takeaway, you've already lost some range of motion, you've got a tight grip, you're not going to have any power, you're not going to have any distance. And what do? You try to make up for those faults by swinging the club forward as hard as you can. Well, a tight grip is dumb, a fast takeaway is dumber, and having a fast downswing is dumber. 3 wrongs do not make 1 right. The fix is to slow the downswing down. Once you get up here, you can't start swinging as hard as you can. Why? Because your brain scrambles your sequence. It thinks you're killing something. So when you get up here and you start swinging hard, your brain does this instead of doing this. So here's the fix. Slow your downswing down. Don't try to go 100 miles an hour here. Gradually get into that 100 miles an hour down here. You want to aggressively get into it, but don't start swinging it hard up here. Otherwise, your grip gets tighter, your brain wants to do this. So here's what your swing looks like. You have a soft grip, a slow takeaway, and a progressively faster downswing. Every adult golfer has the capacity to make that swing, but you got to stop trying to help the brain. You can't help the brain to create the default swing. It's already in there. You can only get out of the way of it. So these 3 components help eliminate a ton of other problems we're going to get into soon. So soft grip, slow your takeaway down, slow your downswing down. You have to feel this stuff. You can't think about this. You've got to feel that grip soft. You've got to feel the takeaway being slow. And you've got to feel a progressively faster downswing. When you do these things, you're going to get closer to that default swing, and your brain's going to start helping you instead of hurting you. Okay, so that's it for day 3. Tonight, in your manual, I want you to go to chapter 2, read question 3. And that is, how does a brain learn the golf swing at different ages? Now, don't forget to do your stretching drills. You got to do this morning and night. I'll see you tomorrow.